Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
Swiggity swag, what's in the bag? LumioseStation Jay here, and I am bringing you guys last week I brought you guys a showdown battle, but the title said it was a Wi-Fi battle, so that was my bad right there, because I was just zoned out last week or whatever, the week that, I just apologize for that, my bad. But I'm bringing you guys a real X and Y Wi-Fi battle against ThrohThatShit. Good guy. So let's go ahead and just break down the team a little bit. But before I do that, we did have a battle before this, but that battle was not bad. So basically, we both know exactly what we're running on each and every Pokemon that we have. So I know I know all of his Pokemon on his team, and he knows all of mine in terms of like sets and all that stuff. So because we had a battle before this, and anyway. Enough with that. Let's go ahead and break down the team. As you guys can see, I am using the same team that I used on the LumioseStation Pokemon Showdown tournament, and he is using a bunch of powerful threats. He has his little signature Mega Magnetric, the mountain, the mountains, and he has like Excadrill to spin away hazards, and Gardevoir for probably special defensive, and Talonflame because Talonflame is fucking dangerous. But anyway, he leads off with his Talonflame. As I lay off my Greninja, I don't want Greninja taking a Brave Bird to the face, so I'm going to go into my Fortress to take the Brave Bird, because I know Fortress can take the Brave Bird because it does normal damage because of Fortress's steel typing, and Fortress has great physical defense. So that's why I switched into Fortress. Now, what I'm going to do here is, since I know he wants to go for the Flare Blitz, the only Pokemon on my team that wants to take a Flare Blitz from this thing is my Azumarill. So I do just that. I go into the Azumarill, and he does just that. He goes for the Flare Blitz. So I know Azumarill will be able to take that pretty well, because it is a resisted hit. And like, look at that. Azumarill just took that like a fucking champion. Oh my goodness. Urgh! So basically now, if he wants to stay in, which he does, he can go for the Brave Bird. I know Azumarill can take one Brave Bird from this thing, just because we had a battle before this, and my Azumarill did take a Brave Bird pretty well from the Talonflame. So that's how I knew that Azumarill could live a Brave Bird, and that's why I just stayed in and went for the Aqua Jet and took out a very powerful threat at the very beginning of the battle. So that Talonflame is no more. But now he brings in the Magnetric. I know he's gonna Mega Evolve. I know Magnetrics are special attackers. Might as well go into my special wall, which is my Sylveon. Fun fact though, my Sylveon has no special defense investments at all. It has all physical defense and HP, because I'm basically running like a mirror build to Vaporeon, which Vaporeons are usually like bold and max defense because they don't need any special defense investments, but then again, Vaporeon has Scald. But anyway, he switches out, brings in the Gardevoir. I go for the Wish, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out and go into my Fortress, because like I said before, we had a battle before this, so I knew that this Gardevoir couldn't really do too much to my Fortress outside of Focus Blast. But at the same time, it's like, why would he go for a Focus Blast on a Sylveon unless he predicted the switch into my Fortress? So I go into Fortress, get the Wish up, get my leftovers back, and I can get back up at Sturdy. So even if he does stay in and go for the Focus Blast, which he does, I can go ahead and live it because I do have Sturdy, and I can go ahead and set up my Stealth Rocks and basically just let Fortress die, more or less, because I don't really think I'm gonna need Fortress in this battle, just because I can handle everything on his team. Most of his team seems to be special attackers, so I didn't really need my Fortress, so I just went ahead and let Fortress die right there, and I go into my Charizard. Now you're probably thinking, Jay, why are you going to go into Charizard and go and Mega Evolve to Mega Charizard X if you're facing a Gardevoir? Well, that was my mistake. I should have just went for the D-Dance right here instead of Mega Evolving and going for the D-Dance, because if I had just stayed a regular Charizard, I probably would have been able to take this Moonblast a lot better, because it would have been resisted instead of normal damage. So that was really my mistake right there, And I just go for the Flare Blitz because I know from the previous battle that an Earthquake would not kill Gardevoir at +1, or would not kill Gardevoir even if my Charizard is +1. So I just went for the Flare Blitz, went ahead and sacked off my Charizard just for the greater good to take out the Gardevoir. And so now I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Greninja because Greninja is the fastest Pokemon on my team, as he is going to go into his Tyranitar, set up that Sandstorm, and I was just about to say he Mega Evolves, but how he can't Mega Evolve because he already Mega Evolved his Magnetric. Lol. But now I'm going to go for the U-turn because I don't really know what this Tyranitar wants to do, but I really do not want Tyranitar smashing my Greninja, not right now anyway. So I'm going to go into my Sylveon because my Fortress is dead. So my Sylveon is basically the best thing to take on this Tyranitar. I do resist one of his stabs, which is that Crunch right there. Look how well I took that Crunch. I took it so well. And I can always hit back with a Moonblast and completely destroy this Tyranitar. Actually, not really. I lied right there. He's in the Sandstorm. If fun fact, rock type Pokemon get a special defense boost in the Sandstorm, but he's not gonna risk it. He switches out and he's gonna go into his Excadrill, which is the best play he could do because Excadrill essentially walls my Sylveon outside of me going for a Moonblast, but it resists the Moonblast, so it doesn't really even matter. I mean, my Sylveon can't do anything to this Excadrill. And in the battle before this, I keep referencing the battle before this because it's because of that battle before this is that I make the plays that I make. So I stay in with the Sylveon. I knew he had the Poison Jab. Now, last battle, I had no clue he had the Poison Jab, and I lost my Sylveon, which really wasn't much of anything. But for some reason, I stayed in because I figured that, hey, I knew that Sylveon would be able to take a Poison Jab because, I mean, it's not stab and he's not boosted in any kind of way, so I should be able to take the Poison Jab, right? And I did, and I get my HP back up with the Wish, and he just stays in and goes for the Poison Jab over and over and over again, and I just stay in. I just keep on going for Wish, and then I'm gonna be that guy. You guys can go ahead and hate me, but I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm gonna go for the Protect because, like, why not? Like, honestly, I don't have any more walls on my team. I have to stall out this Sandstorm because I don't know what ability this Excadrill has, but most likely it has Sand Rush. So I just need to preserve my Sylveon for as long as possible, which I do end up running out the Sandstorm, which is amazing. I do get my HP back with the Wish, and now my Sylveon is at a lot of HP right now, and I'm looking pretty good. But now, because I figured he's going to try to go for the Poison Jab again, I'm going to go into my Greninja because I figured, hey, Greninja should be able to take a Poison Jab from this thing. But he goes for the Rapid Spin, which is great because now, even though he spun away my hazards, I don't even need him anymore. I have a free Greninja in here, and I can just hit everything on his team for, well, not everything on his team for super effective damage, but I can hit the T-Tar for super effective damage because that T-Tar is a big threat. So I go ahead and just go for the Scald just in case he wanted to stay in with the Excadrill. I can go ahead and one-shot the Excadrill, but he just goes into his T-Tar, which is actually probably the best play because now he has the Sandstorm up and he can go back into his Excadrill, and he can just go ahead and outspeed everything on my team outside of Azumarill because Azumarill has priority, which he does go into the Excadrill, and I guess he predicted me to switch into my Sylveon right here, and he went for the Poison Jab, which I have no clue why I stayed in with my Greninja. I guess I was just sacking off Greninja just so I can go into my Azumarill and Aqua Jet this thing. But it played out in my favor just because he went for the Poison Jab right there. So I guess he just over predicted a little bit. And thanks to that poison though from the Poison Jab, I lose my Greninja, which is okay. It's perfectly fine because I didn't really need my Greninja anymore anyway. But now I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Sylveon as he goes into his Mountain Dew. The mountains, you see the mountains, and basically Sylveon. Do not mock the power of Sylveon. Do not mock the bulk of Sylveon. Look how well Sylveon took that Thunderbolt from a Mega Magnetric. And I have no special defense EVs. All I have are HP and defense EVs on this thing. So look how well I took the hit. Look how well Sylveon took the hit though. So I go ahead and go for the Toxic because if he wants to try to, you know, stay in for as long as he can, toxic damage is going to rack up. And I can just go for the Wish. I know I can take a Thunderbolt unless he goes for a crit. unless he goes for a crit, unless he gets a crit. My bad. And unfortunately for him, he didn't get a crit, so I go for the wish, and basically now I am going to be that guy, and I am going to go for the protect because my fortress is dead. I don't have any more walls, and I want to keep my Sylveon alive for as long as possible. And I mean, yeah, I need Sylveon alive for as long as possible. But he's going to go ahead and switch out because he doesn't want toxic damage to rack up. He goes into the Greninja. The Sandstorm is now gone, so now I don't have to worry about my Sylveon losing HP each turn. And I'm not really sure why he's in on with this Greninja, but basically, I think he was like looking for a flinch or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember what Water Shuriken does, but he's running a physical Greninja, and he doesn't really get lucky with these Water Shurikens because they do shit for damage, because Sylveon, you know, my Sylveon has physical defense. And I just go for the Moonblast. Luckily for him, he had Protean, and yeah, because if he didn't have Protean, he would have been dead by now, because the Dark type going Greninja, you know, super effective, you know, Fairy, blah blah blah, all that fun stuff. But yeah, he's just gonna go for Water Shurikens, basically in vain. And I do believe I go for the wish here. I do go for the wish here, just because I mean, I don't know. I was just being that guy. I'm a bad guy. I'm a terrible guy. I keep on going for wish, protect, and stuff. But he switches out. He goes into Mountain Dew. But actually, I think this time I do not go for the protect. I actually go for the Moonblast, because basically, even if he wanted to stay with the Greninja could not kill my Sylveon no matter what he did. And like I said, he switched out. So I mean, he switched out. So, you know, free wish, and I don't know. Sylveon was just in a really good position. I could have went for the protect. I could have went for the wish. I could have went for the Moonblast. I could have went for, or wait, I went for the wish. What am I talking about? I could have went for any move, and I would have still been good. But the Moonblast was just the better move to go for. And yeah, take out the Manectric here. And all he has left is the Greninja, and the Greninja can't really do much of anything to me. So basically, that is GG. So good game, Throh. He goes for the Night Slash here, just because I'm pretty sure he just did not care anymore. He didn't care. So Sylveon, the power of Sylveon. Don't mock the power and the bulk of Sylveon. Honestly, I did not think Sylveon was going to be this good to take hits, but yeah, that is that. So that is the game, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, if you want to see more Wi-Fi battles from me, please, you know, leave in the comments if you want to see more Wi-Fi, more Showdown. Like, please leave comments, you guys. Leave comments. Also, go check out the other conductors on the channel, and I will check you guys out later. Peace.